So what's the current bottleneck that you're seeing?
Um, I'm just in a lot of meetings,
Hmm.
and then but I still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like, um, right, the last 3 months I've been getting really into networking and building relationships, which
Yeah.
has been awesome. But like, uh, I'm used to jumping on a discovery call, figuring out what they have going on, and then just giving a proposal. And
Yeah.
it's like a two call process.
Yeah.
Um, so that worked fairly well, but like I don't really have a budget for ad spend.
Yeah.
I've been doing cold email, not super successful with hitting on
Yeah.
an offer that people respond to. So like part of my issue has been lead generation.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's probably the bottleneck is like I need enough opportunities that close in order
Yeah.
to have a team for fulfillment, you know.
What's the AOV on what you're selling right now?
It's probably around 1,000. Um, I have a
Yeah.
client at 2,500 a month. I have clients at 500 a month. Some things are just a one-off at 1,000.
Yeah.
So
And do you have a list?
yeah, yeah, not an engaged list, but like I don't do any content.
Yeah. But how
Yeah.
how how big is that list?
Um, like of people that know me.
Yeah.
Um, it's probably around 200
Okay.
people that know me, but then I have like endless cold lists.
Dude, what you should do is just you should run live workshops like how to how to install AI agents into your business and automate your work. And you should just hammer your cold lists. I mean, also do your warm list, but and just teach what you know, demonstrate. Like, hey, I had this thing and I built this agent and now it does this. And there was this client. And then teach a little bit about agents. Make sure you speak to an unaware market. Don't assume that they know fuck all about fuck all. And
Mhm.
so speak in very like simple, plain language.
Yeah.
And if you have lists, then I mean, you don't need a lot of volume to, and I would focus on selling things that you can charge more money for. If you're busy and only making 5K a month, then you're not allocating your time and energy correctly.
Yeah.
Like you should either have a completely empty calendar making 5K a month, or if you're busy, then you should be making like 50, 100K a month.
Seriously. Yeah.
So my hunch is that you're selling your time and energy for too low, too much of a discount.
Mhm.
So I would focus on selling offers that are at least 5K, but ideally like 10K. The uncomfortable thing for you is going to be turning away sales that are, lesser in amount
Mhm.
because it's like someone saying, take my money. But um that's going to be the only way to, I mean, I'm assuming you want to make more money and be less
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. And with the workshop, uh, it solves the issue of like the time you're investing in being on a call and
Yeah.
then also the trust building. Because I've always felt like if I've already got trust,
Yeah.
I already spent time on the call, let me just work something out for their
Yeah.
budget and let's
Yeah.
just do it, you know? Um,
Nope,
but
bad. Stop doing
yeah.
that. Well, because that's a very feminine way of doing business, right?
Mm, mm,
And if you want to make money, like we need the right balance of masculine, feminine energy. So the masculine principle is here's what I sell. This is how much it costs. This is what you get. This is the value, right? If you want it, great. If you don't, that's fine. But, these are the terms of how I engage with people.
Mhm.
And if we don't have that, if we're like, okay, well, tell me what would work for you, what your budget is, what's going to happen is that your whole business and life will be contingent and dependent on the other person. And that creates a lot of chaos. And it's going to drag you away from, you know, making more money and being less busy.
Yeah. Wow, that really speaks to me because that's been something I'm trying to implement in my relationship
Yeah,
is that more masculine energy of like leading us to a vision of like
yeah,
this is where we're going, this is how it's going to be, and then
yeah,
letting her follow
yeah,
and like in that way like I'm following on the sales call like what do you want to happen
yeah,
here, anything like I'll do it you know.
yeah. Like, what
And
do you need? Like,
right, yeah, I like that.
because then what happens is that we end up with a submissive relationship to money, right? Versus a dominant relationship with money.
Mhm.
And making money and scaling a business, like, most people think of it very mechanically. Like, my approach to this is it's an erotic act, right? Because this is life force energy.
Mhm.
It's your creative energy. Like, the way we make money is by kind of making shit up, right? So,
Yeah,
like, you can operate in the frame that, I make money by working, but there's a cap on that because there's only so many hours in the day, right? So, my what I how I like to approach this is I make money with my creative capacity because that's unlimited, right? And like, over the years, I've come to believe one thing, which is all problems are vision problems. Like, 99% of the time, any problem that we have in the business, it really comes down to like a lack of vision. And when we have a really clear vision that's not, someone else's vision, because there's so many people on the internet that we can borrow a vision from. May not fit, it may not be the right thing for us. When we come up with like our vision, especially when there's a wife involved, um, that vision can, like, how we relate to that vision can become an organizing force in the business and in life. Because if I serve my vision, then that's going to dictate how I show up and how I operate. It's going to dictate how I think. It's going to dictate how I make decisions. It's going to dictate what I say yes to and what I say no to, right?
yeah,
And in the absence of that, what's going to happen is I'm going to just be reactive and responsive to my environment. And I'm going to say yes to things that I shouldn't say yes to. And then, of course, it leaks in the marriage because, right? Because the right energy is you're like, hey, this is where we're going, right? And my focus is getting us there. And she's like, okay, great. Man's got a vision, like, because that's easier to follow. And, the same thing that creates harmony in a marriage is actually the same thing that creates cash in a business. It's really funny.
wow, yeah, it's interesting because I've been manifesting that on the relationship side, but I've noticed like throughout my work day, and all the things that come up, I am very reactive.
Yeah.
And then switching gears to, okay, let me lead my family. Let's,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing. So it's like making that connection that I
Yeah.
can do that in my business too,
Yeah.
and not just trying to cater to clients, like having them hold the power,
Yeah.
um, not letting them lead, but having those terms of engagement
Yeah.
and just setting them. And if they don't, if they're not able to do that, it doesn't vibe with them, they don't see the value, then I'm moving on to the next opportunity.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, love
Nice.
that.
Yeah. And sometimes it's, very nuanced, simple shifts that completely change the course. I mean, usually, like you probably have all the technical skills and you know, the strategy and tactics. It's just, sometimes the gap is like us showing up as the version of us who can actually, you know, create that much money and run a business in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sensing that gap, you know. Because a lot of it is like once you're doing the workshop, then now it's like what energy are you bringing to that workshop?
Right.
How are you able to lead a room of 100 people
Yeah.
in a way that commands that
Right.
attention, authority?
And even in that, right, like the challenge that I find that people face is like, okay, there's these 100 people showing up, so I have to please them versus I have a clear plan, right? Because on that workshop, you could answer that question of AI agents 1,000 different ways, but you should do it in a way that perfectly maps to the offer you want to make, which perfectly maps to the money you want to make, charge, which perfectly maps to how much money you want to make. So again, that has to be reverse engineered by from your vision, right? And so that can also be uncomfortable because you have people showing up and you're like, I don't know if these people like if this is quite for these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that discomfort is where the money is, right? Because that in that moment, like, because people can feel, they can sense like, oh, is he catering to me or does he have a vision, right? Does he have conviction? Does he have certainty? And then they can choose to be like, okay, this guy really seems like he is clear on what this is, and I trust that, and I'm going to book a call to see how he can help. The sale is energetic before it is, you know, tactical or strategic, right? The value always follows certainty. And so it's a really beautiful dance, right? Because the more conviction we can operate in, the easier everything gets. The less conviction we have, like I was talking to Brett, it's like, I can do this, I can do this, like, you know, because it's just like infinite possibility. Like, can run any kind of ad. I can do a low ticket funnel. I can do this. I can like, right? We have so many options.
Mhm.
And the most damaging thing that I found for entrepreneurs is the periods where we don't have extreme conviction, and then we have all these options and we don't have a way of choosing. And then we go into information gathering and analysis paralysis and we spin out of control and then we're overthinking and that kind of delays us by days, weeks, months, sometimes years, right? And the same people, when they have extreme conviction, when they're clear, it's like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. they're a different animal, right? That's why like half the time what I'm doing with people is telling them what to not do. Because if I can just take all the options off the table and just be like, you're doing this one thing, just do this one thing every week, right? And you'll make 10 times the money because the brain wants more options.
Right. Because then um you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, and
Yeah.
it's safer to just kind of cast a wide net.
Yeah.
And especially with unproven technologies, like, will people want to talk to an AI agent? Well,
Totally.
it's a new frontier, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
possibilities,
Yeah.
but it's an unproven market in a lot of ways. So having that conviction, making that choice is it takes a lot of courage and
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah. And the market rewards that courage and confidence because no one fucking knows, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like no one's really an expert.
Right. The market wants leadership too, right? Customers want leadership too, right? They want to
Right.
follow somebody who's confident to tell what they should do, right?
Totally.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like everyone's trying to figure out what's going on, right? So the most
Yeah.
grounded, certain person in the room, like money's gonna flow to them, right? Because cash follows confidence and confidence follows certainty. And so, which again, like comes back to the vision piece because the more crystal clear we are on the vision and the more committed we are to the vision and the more clear we are on the path to the vision, right? Yeah, it's the 90, I got 99 problems, but clarity isn't one,
Jay-Z.
right?
Yeah.
Because then I have to I don't have to make so many decisions. Like I can rest in my internal certainty about what's happening, what I'm doing, what I'm a yes to, what I'm a no to. And, people feel that. And then, if they want to move closer and buy, great. If they don't, that's fine. Because the other piece of this is detachment, right? Because if we need someone's money, it repels them, right? But also, like, when we undervalue ourselves and we're overly flexible and overly accommodating, that also repels them. And if it doesn't repel them, it repels the kind of money we want to make. It repels the vision because what we're saying to the universe is like, hey, yes, I want a 50K a month business, but I'll settle for five.
Yeah.
Because there's no space, right? Like, because if you're busy, there's no space for that opportunity to come in.
Mhm.
That's why wealth loves an empty calendar. Like wealth wants an empty calendar.
For things to pop up, and like synchronicities and
Totally.
opportunities to just come, and like if your schedule's all booked up, there's no room for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the opportunity. Like we get to be so connected to the vision and so connected to God, source, the universe, whatever, that the entire universe can conspire to bring you closer to your vision, right? Because I mean, I think the best business partner we can find is God. And God's the best business partner
Mhm.
because there's a wisdom and there's an God's algorithm is actually the most optimal, right? Like what better cause for you to do this than to give your wife an amazing life and for her to feel totally at ease and totally safe and totally held. Like that's as divine of a mission as anything else, right? It's like for someone else, it could be their kids, or even themselves. Like that's pretty. And so that's a beautiful infinite source of energy that we can pull from because our vision should be outside our capacity, you know? Like if I'm shooting for what I can reasonably do, then I'm getting it horribly wrong because if it's within my means, it's never going to be a source of turn on. Like our vision should require us to reach beyond our capacity and connect to God and connect to source and call on unseen forces to help us and be in that place of trust and surrender and faith and humility of like, yeah, I can't do this myself. Like that's actually where true power comes from. When we are in that relationship with the universe, this thing that's holding us, that, hey, help me, like help me bring this to life. I can't do this on my own. Because that's where we stretch and that's where we grow and that's where we increase our capacity. Because we're not yet the person who can create that. We're not yet the person who can receive that. And we're not yet the person who can hold and maintain that. Right. And I'll never get beyond myself if my vision is, within reach. And I think people horribly misunderstand goals and, even the people who say like, yeah, set impossible goals and set 10x goals. I think a lot of people, they do it from the wrong place. Not that there's a right or wrong, but wrong as in, it's coming from the ego,
Mm.
right? It's coming so they can get something. But the most powerful, electrifying vision always involves contribution. Because when I've oriented towards like my vision as a reflection of how much I want to give, it's a completely different relationship with it. Right? I want to give my wife the best life possible. And she tells me like, yeah, I feel so good that I feel at ease just going to the farmer's market and spending hours making us delicious meals and keeping our home beautiful. I mean, she also has a business, but like she doesn't feel like she needs to go make money. And for me, it's like, what a what a beautiful, like that's so my vision is about like even my vision for being a billionaire is not making $1 billion. It's helping 1,000 people make $1 million. Like I want to create $1 billion of value. Because to me, that feels way more energizing than what I can get.
Yeah.
And unless we have something like that, then we'll never get beyond our ego's mechanisms of staying small and, keeping ourselves stuck and in fear.
Yeah. It's crazy how limited the ego will take you.
That's why, entrepreneurship is basically a vehicle for enlightenment. Like that's the real game. Because like we get to see a very clear mirror for who we are and our patterns and our stuff. And like Or some people don't want to see it, so they turn away. But the people who dare to look and see themselves and be like, okay, like I see where the work is. And, if we keep doing that, we keep coming closer and closer to ourselves and to God and keep evolving and growing and, polishing the mirror and cleaning our container, then like at some point it's, like it's so much more than just making money. And I feel really bad for people like in a way who like their orientation is, the purpose of this game is to make money. I mean, making money is important, because that's a scoreboard of business, but it's very mechanical for most people. They're like, oh, I do this stuff and it makes me money, and I just need to do this stuff more and harder and it'll make me more money. But the real juice comes from, the way we make money, the way, like who we become. Like I think a goal, the purpose of a goal is to be a forcing function to become who we're meant to become, right? The greatest version of ourselves. Like the purpose of the goal is not to get the thing.
Yeah. It's to become the person that can get the thing.
Right. And that's where the real juice is. And people want to shortcut that and they want the thing. They're like, hey, give me the thing. Give me the $1 million business, but I don't want to, I don't want to hold the discomfort between my present self and that version of me.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's you're talking about how business goals can expose things in ourselves, entrepreneurial, journeys. It's very similar to our wives. Like they're exposing the kind of man that we are every single day and the tests. And it's whether it's the market testing us or our wives, it's like, are we willing to look in the mirror and are we willing to see those things in ourselves? Or are we going to just let our ego keep protecting ourselves and staying small because we're not willing to um, have a relaxed nervous system and just say, like, okay, this is the reality. I'm not deceiving myself. I'm not fooling myself. It is what it is. Let's make the changes, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. Well, I hope this has been useful. Do you guys mind if I share like the second part of this conversation? Because I feel like a lot of people will benefit from it.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Think like most people like so you can do the same thing in so many ways, right? Like most people are trying to build a business from such a like heady, logical, mechanical, dry place. And all the like there's so much more joy and fun and turn on that's available to us, I think. Anything you guys want to share in in closing? Any insights, breakthroughs, whatever's top of mind or heart?
Just thank you. When we have so many options, um, it's very easy to cast the net wide and be trying 4 or 5 different things. I mean, in the past 2 months since we talked, Ani, I've probably tried 3 different funnels, 3 different offers,
Yeah,
and expertise and guidance and mentoring who understand it better than and say, in your situation, given all these things, this is going to work best. So
yeah,
do that. And that's very, very helpful. And I really took a lot of notes about the clarity and commitment and confidence. Um, I love you calling out the ADHD thing. Very true. I never do just one thing. I've always got four or
yeah,
five things cooking. and keep changing. But part of that is not being confident that that's going to work because it's not working yet. But part of that is the guidance. So having, thank you for the clarity, the wisdom of, yeah, I really like the coaching you shared with me. I've already given it to Claude, and it's already building the plan. So
Nice. Love that.
while
Love
you're
that.
talking with Jensen, it's halfway done. So, but I really, and you know, I just finished another two books, The Founder's Gauntlet and The Founder's Journey. I've worked with founders my whole career, Jensen, mostly as a leadership coach and teacher. But in the hero's journey, the mentor plays a key role, right? The mentor has the map.
Yeah.
And the mentor's like, yes, you could do this. Here's the map. You're going to need to learn a couple skills. Let me help you out with that.
Yeah.
And so the mentor, there's a real benefit of mentorship. And I mentor people not in ads and funnels, in other things.
Yeah.
but but thank you for that guidance. It's very wise. I'm grateful.
You just put blinders on and like you could be at a $1 million run rate in 90 days.
Wow. My glass ceiling is between the 30 to 40K. So if I can hit 40 consistently, that's my glass ceiling. So 50K. And if you can hit 40 on paid ads, then you can get to 80, right? And there's your $1 million run rate. So
One workshop, like just get that first one run and keep improving it every week,
okay.
every other week. And don't do anything else. Like don't start anything else, don't do anything else, just perfect it. So you know exactly what words get
Yeah.
registrations, what words on the workshop get
Yeah.
get someone to book a call, and what words on that call close a whatever 10, 15K client.
The flywheel effect and the repetition. So it's evergreen. It's an evergreen every 2 weeks in this example.
Yeah.
But yeah, because then you get to constantly improve.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's very underrated to do one thing 100 times.
Yeah.
Most people do 100 things once, right? And so if you can figure out first, nail what that one thing is, and then all you're doing is doing it 100 times. Like if you hosted that workshop 100 times, it would be extremely unreasonable for you to not make $1 million, right? So if we can boil everything down to one activity, that gives you the maximum likelihood of asymmetry, right? Because it takes all the optionality out. And your entire consciousness is focused on doing that one thing and improving that one thing every time you do it. So by the 45th time, you're absolutely fucking lethal. And then you keep getting better, right?
Man, it's really powerful advice.
If I told you, like, if you deliver that one workshop, that one presentation 100 times, you will make $1 million, that it's mathematically improbable that that doesn't happen. It's like, why would you do anything else?
Yeah.
Right? Because for most people, they're just not putting enough reps on the right thing, right? Because they're doing too many things, because they have too many options, and no one's taking most of those options off the table and saying, hey, just do this. Or their mind talks them out of repeating successful actions. So they do something once, it works, and then they never do it again because their mind wants novelty and it's like off to the next thing.
Right. Right.
That is so
I'll
neat.
do it. I'll do it. Yeah, me too, Jensen.
Okay.
Donnie knows me.
Jensen, how about you? Any thoughts, insights, breakthroughs?
Yeah, I definitely, my takeaway from this conversation is what energy I'm showing up in my business with.
Yeah,
Um, I have the tendency to be reactive and, you know, meeting different people and then just being totally um like captured by that person and what they have going on in their world, and not holding my own vision of this path that I'm on,
yeah,
and that if people want to come join me and keep going on this path they can, but this is where I'm headed. And that's been a huge takeaway in balancing the feminine energy that I've been carrying in my business with the masculine. Like, it's important to care, it's important to empathize, but to have that masculine energy, it gives something for people to follow.
yeah.
And to be able to hold events and to speak on these topics that people need leadership on, they need to understand how to leverage these tools so they don't get left behind. um, like that's
Man,
uh,
that's powerful what you're saying.
a point of clarity for me, is understanding that that's um, that's what I got to do. Like, that's my option going forward.
You don't have to, but man, are you gonna fucking enjoy that? Because it's your highest expression. Like you've already got the thing that most people spend a lifetime finding, which is your, to me, you feel like a very gentle, kind, loving, big-hearted person. And when you add the that kind of directness and clarity and certainty and conviction and this like just unconditional devotion to a vision, which is, I think, the most masculine quality. I mean, fuck, dude, that is like such a powerful combination. Because like you bring the heart with the steel, with the power. Oh, it's unbelievable. So excited for you.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Ani. That means a lot.
Yay. This is wonderful. I'm so glad we could spend this time together.